reaction to what you said about colonial literature and the anti-India bias with that came with the colonial experience, ask you this: how do we understand the proliferation of anti-India literature, especially in Western academia and media institutions? If I have to be specific, in the United States and the and Europe.
See, one of the very key one of the key problem is instead of calling it anti-India literature, okay, instead there is a particular way in which they talk about it. See, look, the difficulty of calling it anti-India. See, if they come and say this is wrong with India, we think it is anti-India literature. But there are also very interesting things you don't see how it actually denigrates our very existence. For example, a lot of us Indians today take this pride in saying that India is a cradle of civilization. Right? We think it's a very great pride. When German romantics and German Orientalists, when they came and then when they looked at India and India is a cradle of civilization, you know what did they really say? They simply said, this is the place the different civilization grew for whatever reasons that they were doing at that point in time. But we have all advanced and India is still in the infancy. That means Indian people have not got out of the cradle and we have all gotten advanced. I mean, this is precisely what they meant. I mean, they were not praising Indians. Right. They were saying that you guys are childish. But we think it becomes celebrating. One, we don't have this understanding clearly. That's why phrasing it anti-India, pro-India is not a very useful thing to make you understand. Second, there is a particular way in which you take position about the very existence of certain human beings. So a whole range of traditions exist in India. Now, I'm not talking about geographical entity in India, but a cultural entity where people are spread all over the place. They have all kinds of practices. There is a particular way in which we engage with this world. We deal with human beings. We build relationship with nature. We build relationship with other social groups in the world. And as a consequence, we have had the most advanced, sophisticated way of coexisting with all kinds of differences. We are not just tolerant, not respecting. We are indifferent to different kind of differences. In fact, if someone comes and say that you respect some other, it is a non-existing question because, like me, I am existing. My neighbor also exists. So there is no question of respecting, disrespecting, no question of tolerating, not tolerating. This is part of very existence. Therefore, we are indifferent to differences. So this is a completely unique way of dealing with this world. But what has happened is that there is a peculiar situation that has come for us in 20th century in the sense that cultures like India, even though we produce a lot of literature, both in vernacular languages and in the Sanskrit language, we neither tried describing ourselves at any point in time, or we never were interested in going and describing other people, right? But contrary, if you look at the Western engagement with the societies in the world, it is something very peculiar about the Western culture in the sense that they not alone gave description of what they are, but they also went and described all over the place and gave a picture of other cultures. Given the situation that there is a description of another culture given by one particular culture, now these description, all that goes as foundation of what human beings do, what is the nature of human being, what is the idea of man, whether man is rational or not, all kinds of these questions comes from one particular cultural experience, which is Western cultural experience. Now, these ideas, when many individuals, brilliant and not so brilliant individuals came, and they looked at us and they narrated our experience of this world. They narrated their experience of the world. So basically what we had, the picture of us, the Indian picture was European experience. Yes. And very interestingly, this picture had nothing to do with India as such. Neither false nor true, but this is precisely the experience of them. Now, if you look from that point of view, now one thing that you would realize that with the establishment of universities in India by the 1920s, early 1920s onwards, now from there onwards, all these disciplines which has gone into building policy, building ideas about Indian villages, Indian families, to any number of things that you have. All of them are fundamentally based on the foundation of what Europeans have experienced about India, what they describe. So it is rehashing, some little bit of correction here and there of that, but the fundamental story of what Indians are is from that. Now, what we have not done is that we have always felt that Western culture is superior, therefore it is treating us inferior. We have always blamed them that their political agenda, they have succumbed us. There are many number of things, and many of them might be true. And there are individuals who might have tried, divide and rule. There are individuals who might have been very abusive of Indian culture, etc. But not the whole culture as such. Not every Westerner was like that. If you see from that point of view. Now, what did Indians have not done? What Indians have not done, or the Europeans have not done, is that how do we produce knowledge about these human beings? This question has not come. So whatever we have today, sociology, political science, anthropology, in all these disciplines, is the European experience of Europe and European experience of India. Right? Now we don't have, how would it look like if an Indian sees India? No, it is a very hypothetical question today. We don't have an answer to such a question. And we don't know how to look at others as well. Therefore, we don't have theories and hypotheses which could actually give us an understanding of what it means to talk about human beings, irrespective of whether European, American, or whatever. In order to do that, one of the important tasks that Indians must take is that we need to really look at when Europeans, there are European stories, and many Indians have rehashed that story in last 70 years in various universities, etc. If we take those stories, they actually tell you more about the person who described us. That yes. means it will give you more information about European culture. And one of the tasks that we must engage is by studying this description that Europeans have offered. We should actually build description, partial description of European culture. It tells more about them, it tells nothing about us. So all that, even though they might have come and met our people, spoken to our people, they would have looked at technology in India, etc. But the stories that they're talking about, the narration that they're building us, the images they're constructing, tells more about European culture. I think one of the very important tasks is to start giving a description of European culture by looking at what they wrote about us, number one, and then contrasting that with how different are we. Now, this process has not been done. It's only very recently that there are very few people, probably with great difficulty, we will hit double digits, who are thinking on these lines. We have taken step towards this journey. Now, because that has not happened, till you start talking about why Western culture acts in this way, you will not be able to understand why Andre Tuske or the Christopher Jaffarlots of this world, who are part of this dismantling Hindutva campaign, why do they do what do they do? If you simply see it as a political agenda, you simply see it as a conspiracy, maybe there is some element of truth, but it's not enough. That's not going to solve our problem, because the story, the structures that are there of talking about India are much bigger than any possible conspiracy story. They're much deeper. Therefore, it requires completely an academic engagement for next, probably 40, 50 years or so. A massive investment that Indians must do towards this.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.